Hey guys, back for tonight's stream, and tonight I am trying to fix up a problem where our game loads up, or all the items in the level load up too slowly, and our player falls through the ground. So I have managed to find a way to fix that in a roundabout way. So we're going to look at that, and then how I have kind of fixed it and display it quite nicely. So I am just finishing off a widget here, and basically for each right, I'm going to put that there. Didn't want to do that, but anyway. So we're going to remove that from parent. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. And then that's going to go there. Right, so let me explain this for you guys. And we shall take it from there. So, when the player loads, we create a widget that's basically black, right? And then what we do is we start a function called reset player. Okay? And what reset player does is it finds the player start, gets the position, checks it against the current actor position, and if it's within a value of 10, which is quite low apparently, then so basically if the player drops through the scenery, it's not going to be on the player start anymore. So basically I move it back to the player start. Okay, now if it is at the player start, then I clear the timer and show another widget that looks like a curtain opening. Okay, which is basically this part here. Okay, and in the end it should look something like that. Okay, now the real proof of the pudding, of course, is going to be if we load up the correct level. Okay, so if I go to the main menu, let me just check. Okay, so what we want to do is we're loading this level. We're starting on the main menu. Okay, so we're going to say new game. We're going to click on the new game. It's going to load up. And there we go. Okay. And what we're going to do in the meantime is basically disable any player input. Okay. So what we'll do in the meantime is we'll muck that up, right? First of all. We'll do that. Right, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say disable input. And I think maybe we can. Or maybe we can't. Right. So we're going to get player controller, which sounds, that's because this is a pawn. Okay, that's fine. Right. So what we're basically going to do here is we're going to disable all the sound and the controls, right? And then basically when this has all opened up and done its thing, we're going to get player controller and enable input. Okay. So that's us going to stop us moving the camera around. Okay. Now I don't know why. Well, that's interesting. Because it's not enabled. It's not re-enabled our... That's because I plugged it in the wrong place. Well, that was a bit goofy. Right, so we can begin to have a look at some of this stuff and get it better organized, right? So that on the player controller, we're basically switching all the audio off. and then we're only going to switch it on when all that's complete, right? And basically the same for this here. So basically this should also go here. Okay. So we shall check this out. So that's good. Right. And what we'll do is I want to switch what we're going to do. I'm going to have a quick Google search. On switching off all audio. Okay. Okay, it looks like there isn't a simple solution to this. Okay. So, new game. Let's try that again. Okay. Now, I'm just wondering here. This is our demo character. Okay. Let's have a look. To see what we've got. Whew. So that's voice. what have we got here? We don't have a we have audio. Okay. Apparently we don't have an audio bus, or do we? No. Okay. Right, so the sound is basically a problem. Okay, well, whatever. It's a problem for another day, that one, I think. Right, so if we go back to maps and test map, okay. So that's really not going to work unless we like move this up a bit or something. And the problem there is we took more than a second. So if the map loads far too fast, right, that just doesn't work. Right, and we really need this to work in all situations. And now if we go to our player start, undo, and it's not undoing. Right, we need to open another map. And that's basically screwed us over. Did that actually save that map? Apparently it did. Okay. So whatever's going on there, isn't really what we want. Okay. So really what we want is a do once and then we check this and if it's false we start that. And if it's true we can do that. Okay. I'm not sure we'll save that for now, right? Then we shall basically check this. And then we shall check this. Okay. So this is true. So we're going to here. We're going to step over there. Okay. We're going to add breakpoint. Oh. It didn't play that animation. Okay. Now that is because actually it shouldn't be because of anything. We should be adding this to the viewport. And basically, if this either fails so what I want to do is find out if we've actually got this widget. No, we don't. Right, we're going to stop this for now. Right, because what I've done is I actually put it in the level, thinking that it wasn't working properly. So we're going to have to go in here, and then we are going to have to go to the blue level blueprint. Now I don't approve of doing this. I'll have to ask my partner in crime why he done this, but anyway, we're going to cut that, right, and we're going to go back in here, but first of all we're going to go to main maps and test map. Right. And we're going to crash, apparently. Cool. That's just what we wanted. That was awesome. Always when you're doing something a bit weird. Not that I was doing anything weird, to be honest, but anyway. So if any of you guys in the chat have got any questions, fire away. And while we're loading up again, let's kill the time, guys, and make it at least a little bit useful to us. Apparently my connection to Google crashed for a second or two, but we're back. Now, how much of a crash have we got? That is the question. Not too bad by the looks of it. We shall see. I'm guessing that level is going to be screwed. Right, and I'm going to, that's standard macros, we can close that down. And what we'll do here is we'll go back to our maps and this one, and we'll see if that code has gone or not. Right, so if we open our level blueprint, it has gone. Right, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our test map then we're going to get our demo character and when we create our first, we're going to do this again. Except this time it's going to be that one, and then off of here we're going to do a sequence. And that's fine. So we're going to save that. And we're going to run this. There we go. Okay, and that gives you an idea of how our level loads up. Okay. Hi, tired today. So that's all working nicely. Okay, we're not 100% happy with it, but it's okay. So what we could actually do here is custom event, right, and clear widgets, enable input. Okay. And then this one is going to be clear. Widgets, enable input. And that's going to be that there. And that tidies that up a good bit. Okay. And we'll move this along a bit. We'll move this up a bit. And then we'll move these up here. Ah, darn it. That'll do it. Right. So that makes it a bit better. Again, we need to do something about the sound, but we can worry about that later, I suppose. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back now to the main menu, right? And I want to check that it's actually saving the settings and stuff. Now, I'm going to assume that it is. But you can never assume. Right, so if we go 1920 by 1080, right, it's 1920 by 1080. Then I quit the game and I'm going to press start again. Options, graphics. It's returned to this. So it's like it's not doing the right thing. Now it might be because it's in a window, but I'm not buying that shit. So I'm going to run it as a standalone game. And this is basically one of the reasons why I had to get that controller sorted out. And the other issue is, why is why do we have no cursor? Apparently that doesn't, well, yeah, so we're changing options, right? Now, I'm guessing it's because the asset does not apply this, right? Because basically, I know from experience that what you've got to do is you've got to allow them to change this and basically have an apply button so that you can actually apply the change, and then it'll automatically like change the size and resolution. So I'm guessing that's why they haven't done it. Okay. So number one, I want to know why the cursor isn't shown. Right? So that's fade in menu. Right? And it doesn't do anything other than that, which is fine. Because I would expect to hear initialize input. And this is hide menu cursor, and this is show menu cursor. So why is this? Ah, right, okay, that's fine. That should be cast to game mode. I changed these before I realized that this wasn't quite right. So this should be show mouse cursor. Oh, wait a minute. Get game mode. Right. No, that's the wrong, actually the wrong thing. This should be get game mode from here. Right. And then with this, we should be able to show mouse cursor. So these can go, and that's going to be hide, and that explains it. So these two from GM old can go. I can't remember exactly why. I basically got rid of GM game mode old, but we did do a newer version of it. Right. So now we should be able to, yeah, cursor. There we go. Right. So we're going to quit that. And we're going to go back to selected viewport. Okay. And if we click on new game, going to need to change this color again. And that's not working. Okay, so what we're going to do here is crash, apparently. Okay, we didn't crash. Right, but in here, right, either before or after, doesn't really matter. We're going to have to do a little delay, right, to allow our character to fall a bit. Okay. Interesting. I'm wondering if that's too big a number. Right, that is weird. Right, that is just weird. Because this just must be going here. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's immediately saying that these are equal. Right. So we're going to test that again. Now, what was it saying? Oh, we're not getting the right actor location. That's why it is. So we'll put that back. Right. And it's going to be that. And we're not going to do a for each this time. Right, now, one of our problems here is this is actually going to change. Thinking. Because basically, if it's not going to be a start, not necessarily going to be a start position, it might be a saved position. Right? Oopsie. And it's going to be this position here. Right, so that's going to be play. These errors, by the way, are to do with level, the asset, and it trying to load up sub-levels. But I need to talk to my level guy about that. Right, so we have our break. This should be false. Yeah. Right, okay. Okie dokie. So we escape that. So it says get streaming level. Right, so we know this is going to be slightly changed, okay? It's going to be basically if the save, if we've saved the game, right, then we're going to do something slightly different, right? But we can deal with that at the time. Basically, we want to just make sure that this works. And if you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like and subscribe, and check the links in the description for various things, including Discord, Patreon, and my Previous Games Steam. I'm going to go and grab a quick cigarette. I shall be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, we are back. And I think before we had our crash, right, I think I was going to set up something, right? And what I think it is, it's in a DT table, right? This level streaming thing, right? There's something going on. Now, I think I'm led to believe that these are the sub-levels, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the name, right? And then I'm going to find this data table, okay? And that's not it. Data tables. Game settings. Game levels data table. Right. So what we're going to do is we've got our Greenland main, right? And we're going to paste that in there. And we're going to delete that. And I've got no idea. I'm guessing it's that. Now, if I've got this wrong, I might have just broken the whole thing. Hi, Kiwi. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on a couple of things. And I'm just about to probably break everything. Because I'm guessing at what I'm going to do. Right, the problem is, right, let me show you. We're on the main menu now. Right. This is made up of two different assets, okay? And I have basically been amending it to fix up stuff and also to change the graphics slightly on it. Not very much. I've not done a lot to it other than change the fonts, put this thing around it, and then in here I've put the thing around it again. Right, now the interesting part is going to be here, and I'm afraid to hit this button, right? But if I hit new game, then it's going to try and do the level. Well, we've got like a Viking menu thing. I'll let you see it in a minute. I'll let you see some of the things in it, right? It's got all sorts of buttons and stuff, right? So anyway, for this, I'm going to press this button and it's going to probably break and I'm going to cry. But is it going to work? It is. Now, I'll say this. That loaded a heck of a lot faster. Right now, I don't know if it was because I done that or if it's because I've done something else and I'm just been lucky or something, I don't know. But we'll try it again standalone. Right. So if I click on that, I need to change the colour on this. Right, we're loading. We're still loading. We're doing a loady thing. Come on. Do your loady thing. Oh, it's user compiling. Right. So basically, what I've been working on earlier in the last hour and previously off stream was a way to make sure that the level loads before, because previously what was happening was that the player was dropping through the scenery because it wasn't built yet, right? So basically what I had to do was make something or code it so that basically the player wasn't falling, or it appears that she isn't falling through the scenery, right? She actually still is, but I just basically blank out the screen so you can't see her falling through the, right? So you can't basically see it, is what I'm saying here, right? But as you can see, that's working. Now, that shouldn't be quit to main menu, that should just be quit. So I'm going to have to fix that somehow. Right, so this is just going to go to there. Right, and we'll go back to selected viewport, right? So that's a pain in the ass. And we're going to say, yeah, we're on selected viewports, that's fine. Right, okay. Now, what we need to do next is that loading screen with the little indicator on it. I'm not sure if that's actually doing anything. Right, because I know for a fact that you can't basically do loading animation in blueprints, right? So unless they've got some way of doing that, right, then I don't know what's going on, right? So I'm going to have to check to see what is going on. Menus, game, backpack, journal, sub-widgets, dialogue, full inventory, HUD, menu, message. Right, I don't think it's any of them. I don't think it's interaction, right? It's not going to be interaction. Right, got dialogue options, loading screen, right? So we've got this loading screen and the loading bar. Now, what I want to know is where this is referenced. And that's exactly kind of what I expected, right? That is generally what I expected. Now, I think they must reference this in some C++ classes somewhere. Right? And it's not that. I don't think the C++ stuff is being shown here. Right? But I don't think this is anything is happening here with this. I'm going to do a thorough search and find out. How are you tonight anyway, Kiwi? Are you doing well? Right, it's in the game instance. Right, but I am not buying that crap. Well, that is a very interesting concept and something I can actually use to kill the sound. If I set the global time dilation to 0 when the player loads in, it's going to basically kill everything. That's actually given me a great idea. Now the interesting thing is, finish loading. Where is this referenced? And it's load from game slot. Right. Load player, hide levels, load player, transform, load inventory. So this is the story game instance. Well, that's a bit crap. Alright, save and load. Has this got just a thing that sets it in the game instance to say that we've loaded? Right, it looks to me you see that? Global dilation. Right, so that's weird. Okay. So it's doing that. Right. and it's doing this stuff here. Right, but this is really only the stuff that pertains to... This is really only the stuff that pertains to this asset, right? It's not really pertaining to other stuff. Right, but anyway, we know that if we look at the loading screen, right, what we can actually do here is change our loading screen, because we have Viking-y loading-y stuff, right? So we can basically, oh, and it gives me a chance to show you this stuff as well, Kiwi, if you're still here. If we look in here at our Viking stuff, we can get our Viking-y things. And here there's our loading bar background. And this is our loading bar. Right? Oopsie doopsie. So that rather actually oh yeah, image, and image, and we have right, we need a different image in the background here, right? Because this background image is really doing us no favors at all. Okay. And if we go back to our loading bar, our background image is that. And we're not going to be in Marquee mode. But we'll use it anyway and have a look. Yeah, it didn't do anything. Right, so why is this supposed to be the other way around or something? Apparently not. Right. So that kinda was right. That kinda isn't right. I can show you guys how this is supposed to look. Right, and it's not supposed to look like that. It's rather unfortunate that it does. Right, and we don't do that. Yep, we don't do that. Alright. And that is just not right. The only other that's the fill. Right, so that should be in there. And that's not the background. So let's have a look at this. Right, so okay, that's cool. We've got the frame and that's see-through, right? Then we apply this to it. And that looks good, but I'm not 100% sure how we implement this. Right. So what I'm guessing is we go back to here, right, and then we get our loading bar, and we wrap it with a border, right? We're going to have 0 padding, right? And in our border is going to be our frame. Okay. Interesting. I might have to look at the documentation on this one. Right, these are just the buttons or icons, and these are basically some that. So it looks to me at this point right that we're going to undo that. We're going to delete that. Right. Wait a minute. This, right, wait a minute, I think I've got it. This should be the back. This should be the background, right? This frame should be the background. Okay. Because that should be see-through. Okay. This should be the bar. Now, why is it blue? Is there something weird going on here that I don't see? Well, that's not right. Okay, that. Right, so I did have it right. Okay, it was that weird opacity setting. And now, what we do is if we wrap this with a border, and then I put the border background, give me the appearance please, of that, we get our proper everything done thing, and our border is going to be 0 padding, and that's going to be 0 padding as well. And now this should look excellent. There we go. We have now got our own loading doofere. Now, I don't think for a second that this is actually doing anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to 0. Save it. And then press play. And I'm going to say new game, go. It did do something there. Now, I'm going to say that that percentage is 33 for a reason. Okay. Escape that just now. And there we go. Okay. So our next question is, why is that going so small? And I'm guessing once again it's going to be something that is getting done outside of the well, maybe I didn't actually change the size of it. Right, if I do that and make it silly, and then press play, let's have a look. Oh yeah, it does change. Not a heck of a lot, to be fair. And to be quite honest, it doesn't do a crap load of anything. And there's no way that that's 33% either, so I don't know what's going on with that. Right. And this overlay thing, I'm not 100% sure what that's doing to us either. It's a scale box of some type. Right, hang on a second here. Okay, so our anchor points to this canvas panel. Yeah, look at the padding. The padding is all whacked. Right, so, okay. Okay. And our border we should basically do that. Which means that this canvas panel, we do need to set up some kind of a thing. Alright. Right, so that's going to be 0. Right, and that's going to be 0. And that's not going to do anything. I don't like the way they've done this, but we're going to have to work with it. And on that, I think we're going to call it for tonight. So if you've enjoyed the stream, got anything out of it, hit the like and subscribe, that would be appreciated. Check out the description for links to the Discord, you're welcome there. And also you can support the channel by checking out the Patreon and also checking out my previous game on Steam. Links are in the description. Add it to your wish list and that would help a bunch. I shall be back tomorrow, 2 PM Central. No, I won't. I'll be back probably 4 or whatever. We'll see tomorrow when it happens. And I shall speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.